When you're with God, you become like Him. Here's today's text from Acts chapter 4. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were uneducated, common men, they were astonished, and they recognized that they had been with Jesus. Peter would have been at home at your 4th of July cookout today. He was a good guy. You'd have liked him if you met him. He was well-intentioned. He was inspiring. He was a bold follower of Jesus. He would promise you the moon and mean it, but he struggled to keep his promises. He wanted to do what was right, but he had such a tough time following through on his good intentions. Does that sound familiar? What Christian doesn't want to live a holier, more fruitful life? Every earnest Christian I know would like to be more like Jesus. But good intentions never made anyone become more like Jesus. We're changed in the same way that Peter was, by being with Jesus. When the authorities saw Peter's boldness, despite his lack of education, they were shocked. And that's when they recognized that Peter had been with Jesus. Something about Peter reminded them of Christ. By the 1960s, the former vacation attraction for Atlanta's affluent citizenry, East Lake, had fallen into utter disrepair. And in 1970, a public housing project was erected on East Lake's former number 2 golf course. Conditions in the neighborhood grew so bad that local police dubbed it Little Vietnam. Crime rates skyrocketed amidst the heavy drug trade in East Lake. But under the visionary leadership of real estate developer Tom Cousins, the area was developed into a mixed-income neighborhood. Cousins saw it as an experiment. What if lower-income kids could live next to middle-income families? What would happen if the kids whose fathers were absent or in jail could see normal families? See a dad come out of the house, get the morning paper, drive to work, return home to his family. What would happen if kids in a toxic environment got to be with people who lived life quite differently? Well, what happened was plain to see and remarkable. Crime rates dropped precipitously. High school dropout rates plummeted. Drug trade was nearly extinguished. Wow. We tend to become like the people we're with. How much, therefore, can you become like Jesus simply by being with Him? Like Peter, you're transformed not by vowing to be like Jesus. You're transformed by being with Him. And that's the gospel